Hi guys, this is John from Switchbird. Let's look at Switchbird's custom contact fields in conjunction with messaging sequences in order to do highly personalized follow-up for our leads, prospects, and customers that's specific to a use case, right? So, we've got all the goodies baked into your Switchbird inbox in terms of having, dynamic placeholders or merge fields that you can put into messages to make it really quick and easy to do templated, reusable messages for any kind of use case, whether it's, frequently asked questions, or you always have to send, customers credit applications or links to products or whatever it is. But when it comes to, a very specific and personalized follow-up campaign, you might collect some information from the customer, from the contact, that you then want to use in your follow-up sequence in order to nurture that contact along to a sale. So let's use as an example, I'm a sales guy at an auto dealership, right? And I want to set up a follow-up sequence for people who walk into the dealership. So I'm going to, find out what car model they're interested in, maybe something about their trade-in, and then I'm going to want to, follow up with them over the course of the next week or so to make sure I'm in their, in their inbox. I'm coming up on their phone, reminding them that I'm here and I know what they are looking for, and I can deliver. So let's go ahead and so we're in a Switchbird inbox here for Acme. So let's go ahead and go to our settings for this inbox. And if you scroll down to the bottom of settings where we have our inbox level dynamic placeholders, you see we also can add custom contact fields, right? So in our use case, let's say we're collecting, we'll just say car model that they're interested in, car model. And I'll just be specific in my naming here. So, and we'll require that on new contacts, and it's just some text. And let's also grab their trade-in. So their trade-in. And let's not require that just in case they're not trading something in. So, okay, so we've added a couple of custom contact fields. Now when we're back in our inbox, right, we'll see those contact fields here when we go to create a new contact, right? So we're going to, every new walk-in, we're going to have to populate, what car model they're interested in, because they walked into the dealership, they must be interested in something, and if they have a trade-in. And so that just looks like the normal contact form, but now let's go ahead and craft a quick sequence that will use those two dynamic fields. So let's go ahead and add a new sequence for a new walk in, and we'll just do a 2-message sequence, right? So that's kind of what's here templated. We could add messages to this to send, throughout the upcoming week or 2 weeks or month or whatever. But let's go ahead and just do 2 quick messages here. So one will be sent immediately. That is immediately upon entering, immediately upon triggering this sequence, we'll go out with this first message, and then we'll have a follow-up message a day later. So you can see this text here is using our dynamic placeholders. Indeed, we already have one in this text for our contact car model, which we added. But if we didn't have, if we hadn't pre-written this, we can find our new fields in here within the contacts dynamic placeholders here. So contact trade-in, I guess they're in alphabetical order. So car model interested in, right? So high contact name, this is me from my company. It was great talking with you about whatever their car model is, interest is, and I'm just saying, if I can help you at all, just shoot me a text. All right, and then I want to follow up a day later, and you might say something like, "Oops," giving yourself an excuse to follow up. I almost forgot. I'm at the dealership, and let's say I'm just there during all business hours, just for ease. I'll just drop in the formatted business hours, and let's see, maybe I'll use the trade-in too, right? So I'll give them a reason to come in to us with some kind of offer. So let's say we talked about their trade-in, and remember we can give you more than Kelley Blue Book. So we can give you more than the Kelley Blue Book value on your, we'll just use the trade-in placeholder here. So contact trade-in. Okay, cool. So now we've got a reason to kind of, an initial piece of outreach here, and then a reason to follow up with this contact, letting them know when we're at the dealership, and that we haven't forgotten about their trade-in, and we've got this great offer, which is that we'll give them better than the KBB value. So, there's a nice little 2-message follow-up sequence. Let's go ahead and create it. And you might dress this up with, a headshot or something to make it friendly, some emojis, stylized, obviously, to suit your use case and personality. But now this new walk-in sequence is ready to go in our Conversations tab, right? So if I go ahead and actually, let me pause this for a second, because I know I'm in here as a contact. So let me delete myself as a contact and then add myself. Okay, so I can now add myself as a contact. So let's go ahead and do that. Whoops, there we go. Okay, so we'll go and add me at my number. And, let's say, whatever, I'm interested in the Ford F-150, and of course I'm going to trade in my RAV4, and there you go. So that's the info I need, and I'll go right ahead from this first message and drop that new walk-in sequence. So there you go, right? That's all I have to do to have automatic follow-up with this walk-in customer, right? So you'll see the initial message go out right away. You can see it says, okay, it, replaces all the dynamic placeholders. This is John from Acme. It was great talking with you about the Ford F-150. If I can help you at all in your car buying journey, just shoot me a text. And then, of course, we add or append the necessary opt-out info and who the message is from. So, one thing Switchbird does is gives you sort of compliance in a box, so to speak, with respect to some of the best practices that you really need to have in place in order to run a text messaging, two-way text messaging campaign within your business. But now you see that we've not only initiated this contact right away after their walk-in, but we've teed up our automatic follow-up for the next day. And again, the sequence could have been many messages long. And critically, you'll see that you can set the sequence, and I didn't point this out when I created it with my new walk-in, right? I can set this sequence to stop on reply, right? So if we want to have a sequence that runs on autopilot but doesn't keep texting the customer if they reply, we can stop on reply, right? So now if I reply to this message, and theoretically the customer would reply with something more interesting than that, but you can see that the fact that the customer replied sort of negates the need for this follow-up sequence, or we can trigger a different sequence based on the fact that we have their attention, or we can follow up with them personally. So here you go. We've used custom contact fields and sequences in order to do highly personalized, highly specific to your use case follow-up with customers via text messaging. All right.